how does it feel all these years later to like be buying this car you idolized as a kid from this person you idolized as a kid?
I'm gonna start crying. Honestly, man.
Few moments in my career that I would say compare with this. If you had to talk about supercars and Ferrari supercars, this could be one of the most exciting stories that we've ever been around, that will ever be around. The owner's story in some ways is almost more important than the car. And to have the opportunity to find something like this, chase something like this is insane.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raleigh-Durham International Airport. Please remain seated with your seatbelt.
Yeah, it's tobacco. There you go, sing me some bluegrass. My pediatrician was up here on the left as a youngster. He was in that building right there. It's a pediatrics now. So if I talk about Tom Williamson, I gotta go back to before that. So when I'm like really little, in Reedsville, in my neighborhood up the road, the Hinkles and Mark and Dave are some of my best friends in the world, and their parents are wonderful people. So Tim, their dad, was in the furniture business, but they always had cool stuff, Corvettes, old MGs. But in the 80s, Tim had a Ferrari 330 from the 60s, and I remember vividly, it was silver, being like 5-6 years old, and that sound of that Ferrari 330. I think that's what really got me just going. And plus, always loved anything with cars. Smoking the Bandit, Cannonball Run, Dukes of Hazzard. So the Hinkles had different Ferraris and stuff, and they would take us out for rides and stuff. And I remember, man, we would, by today's standards, like, a 308's not really a fast car, but it sure was a lot of fun.
No, we're all about your input. You're the keeper of the story, you know what I mean? And now you're gonna keep the story, you're not gonna let anybody tell anything? But that's how it lives forever, though. Our vision of like a small documentary is like, a little bit about North Carolina, a little bit about Burlington, and just kind of tying all these things together. Because a lot of times people, when they think special cars like this situation, they automatically go California. But we got the mountains, we got the sea, we got Biltmore, we got bluegrass, we got barbecue, we had Eddie Smith's Nart Spider, and then the baddest 288 GTO ever created.
He bought that 308 new in '76, and then he bought that 288 GTO brand new in '85, and did a factory delivery. And everything that he owns is meticulously taken care of. You saw it, down to the truck and trailer. Every time he'd offload that GTO from his trailer, like, he put those little carpet squares down. Between me, my buddy Mark, and Dave, our favorite car is a 288 GTO, and it's because of Tom Williamson's 288 GTO. So we'd see Tom Williamson at Ferrari meets and stuff, because he was the president of the Ferrari Club for I don't know how long. So you got Tom Williamson, this handsome, just cool dude, right? Awesome hair, and always had good-looking women and badass cars. Just period. Yeah, for us, it's kind of like a Steve McQueen kind of character. Just cool, man, He can drive, man. Real smooth. He's good at driving. And his GTO is going to be Tom Williamson's GTO forever. That's the way I feel about it. when I was like a teenager, I wanted to go work on Ferraris and went to see Steve Barney. You know, he'd known me since I was a little kid, and he was like, "That's like saying you want to fly planes and you want to start on 747s." That's what he told me. He's like, "Go get some experience." And I said, "All right." So I worked in different shops, you know, as a teenager, and worked at the Mercedes dealership, and first in Winston and then in Greensboro. Then the word got out that Steve Barney was starting a new. He had sold out his part of Foreign Cars Italia, the Ferrari dealer that he started in '78. So I called Mr. Barney up and asked him if he needed any, personnel, and I'd heard something. He's like, "Come by and talk to me." So I went by to see Mr. Barney in his new building, and he told me what he was trying to do, that he already had the Lamborghini franchise, and that Tom, was coming with him from Foreign Cars, Tom Jones, that Tom was, the Ferrari man that we all knew, and that I would be the Lamborghini man. And I said, "Okay, I'll do that." So then when I'm working at Sport Auto,
Tom Williamson.
yeah, so we became more involved then with Ferrari, doing Ferrari Club events up at VIR a lot, and I would also get to see the GTO come in, so Tom Jones could service it. So, that's something that always, got my attention. Made sure I told him, or reminded him, before we left, I was like, "You're my hero, man. You're one of my heroes."
How does it feel all these years later to be buying this car you idolized as a kid from this person you idolized as a kid?
I'm gonna start crying. Honestly, man. Because I didn't want to hurt his feelings either. He's had that thing forever. I've been alive 48 years. He's had that car 40 years. So, something that was such an inspiration to me, it kind of fueled, my desires, if you will, that I was a part of acquiring. I hadn't really sunk in.
Yeah. Bittersweet.
I don't like to hurt anybody.
Yeah.
He had a hell of a time with that car. They have incredible stories surrounding that car, and you got to hear some of them.
Yeah.
And
I
got to see some. I got to see some as a youngster, and I've got to hear more of it in the last, 10 days. It's just, it's like a dream. This car, which is not just a car, right? That's Tom Williamson's GTO forever.
Truck and trailer to match.
Yeah, if you were to look at like a 80s play set, whether it be Tonka toys or Matchbox or Hot Wheels, it's like the race car and the hauler. I mean, it really is like a playset, period correct. It's so cool.
They're new. It's crazy.
It sounds so good.
Man, the interior is beautiful.
The whole car is pristine.
Gorgeous. The car's stunning. Dude, this car is like new. The interior, sick. Look at that. Original owner. All the service stamps. Once in the wow, that is so cool. Look at this. Once in the US, this car will no longer be covered by warranty. I mean, if this is not history, I don't know what is. Wow. Wow. Even just these. I mean, original GTO Weber and gearbox service manuals. I've never even seen stuff like that. Original service time schedule for a GTO. Wow. This is insane. Someone even loved the owner's pouch. It's never seen weather, it's never seen anything.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the imagine for a car that, you know, technically a race car. I mean, it really is a street car, but the dash is perfect. The steering wheel is new. The shifter, all of the leather here, the switches. The headliner is new. I mean, it's perfect. You don't find road cars with a couple thousand miles like this, let alone a race car. Dude, what a thing. When you think of 288 GTOs being, you know, the first supercar produced by Ferrari, actually the rarest car, and then you think of, you know, they were all built the same, they were all red. Each one had different features, you know, power windows or different seats. But now you have a car that was purchased brand new from Ferrari in 1985. A gentleman by the name of Mr. Williamson went to the factory to take delivery, and unfortunately at that time, you know, the 288 GTO, while a dream car for many, was not eligible to come to the US. This was not certified or homologated for the US market. And his love and excitement for this car brought him to take delivery of this car and then drive it to Padova, which we can actually see on this sticker here. And Padova was the home and is the home for Michelotto Engineering. And if you don't know who that is, they are essentially Ferrari's racing program for the past 40 years, 50 years. They helped to develop this exact car, the 288 GTO. They developed the 288 GTO Evoluzione. They developed the F40, the F40 LM, later the 333 SP. So he would drive this car over to Padova with his first wife, and as its first and only owner, would have this car turned into a race car so he could legally import the car into the US. And, you know, that's where this story, I mean, you talk about someone that kept everything and loved his car. You have the original, first off, the original tourist license plate here affixed to the window, the original insurance for this Italian tourist license plate that was good until the 9th month of 1986. So this is the original plate on the car. And as you can see, the modifications throughout the car from the front to the rear. Now the seats have been changed, and I think we will find the original Sparco racing seats that Michelotto installed. We have to figure out that. Racing wheels from Michelotto and all these things. And when I first started to do research on this car, the immediate reaction from Marcel Massini was, yes, you know, it's documented by Michelotto. It's a known car, but it's been hidden away for many, many years. After bringing the car to the U.S., all of the original parts were preserved. The seats are brand new. The wheels are brand new with original tires, brand new, basically. I think how many miles? 100, 200 miles on the original tire. But this car has been so well loved. A little bit less than 6,000 miles, right around 6,000 miles. Serviced every year of its life consecutively for 40 years. And only driven for private track days. It was never really raced. And man, it's like, you know, this gentleman loved this car. Mr. Williamson loved this car. And I think what makes the story so special is John Hooper, my dear friend and colleague for many, many years, remembers this car growing up in North Carolina, vividly remembers Mr. Williamson, who was the president of the Ferrari Club. He was an avid Ferrari collector, and he just truly loved the brand. His checkbook had on each check a Ferrari prancing horse. His cowboy boots had Ferrari prancing horses on them. So an avid lover of the brand, and he built a truck and trailer for this car, a custom truck and trailer with this logo, with the number, with a hand-painted picture of the car, his helmet, the paintings, the original photos, the documentation. It is this incredible love story that you don't see. And for many years, these cars were not expensive. They were between $100,000 and $300,000. So to have someone just this pure love and passion, I would say in my history is unparalleled for a Ferrari supercar. I have not seen anything like this. And then the history with Michelotto. So we are so excited. I mean, literally, I think the car just needs a light detail. I mean, this is, to buy a car like this, you know, the service was just finished. Its last service was just done by a legendary Ferrari mechanic, Mr. Tom Jones, in North Carolina. So it's, you know, documented every year of its life, loved, you know, preserved, its original paint, never restored, the original interior. This is a unicorn, and you know, I'm just so excited to share it with you guys, tell the full story, and we have a deep dive on this one. This is a small documentary in the making, and now it's a final prep, basically barely any prep, to get it ready to be unveiled for the first time in many years at Monterey Car Week.